Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Two Exiles, One Portal. I am Mr. Coffee, joined by Casper once again. Hello, Casper.
What's up, dude? What's up?
Um, I am not happy with the state of Temporal Mage right now.
I'm not happy with fucking Path 2. It's like, so I guess to clear, I guess the obvious thing, this is gonna be our full review of Path of Exile 2. We both are officially in maps. It has taken us a godly amount of time. I think I
And
got into maps at, and I clocked it at a full 48 hours. So roughly on average 50 hours to get to camp maps,
damn,
which is a long time of gaming. Like just to
yeah,
get to maps.
it's a very long campaign, but you think about it, and it's like doubled, and
Um, I don't even think that's the problem. I think the problem is just that the maps are humongous, and every mob takes.
so
If,
much to kill.
yeah, it feels like you're killing a boss. Every mob, every white mob feels like every pack feels like a boss. That you just gotta sit there dodge, 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 and it's just like this feels intentional because they want you to be very strategic and methodical, but like
It's
it's
ruthless.
excessive.
It's because it's ruthless.
Okay,
They
okay,
they
yeah.
they want you to play ruthless so
So
bad.
let's structure this conversation. Um,
Um,
and 'cause I know we got a lot of bad shit to say because that's what we've been experiencing these last couple of days, but let's start with the good, and we'll go the good, bad, the ugly. I guess we'll follow that structure. So the good,
gorgeous,
the good.
gorgeous, super fucking gorgeous. The game, the MTX, the skills, gorgeous, 100%.
I would agree. I think everything they've done well with Path One, they did even better with Path Two. Like the graphics for the skills, the animations. I'm a little perturbed now with the like particle pollution.
Fair.
Um, it's it's not that it's bad. It's just kind of hard to see. So like in Path One when there's like volatile shit coming at you,
Uh huh.
in this game they made them smaller and they're kind of really hard to see in boss fights, especially if you're in a team. Like you just gotta guess where they're at and hope that they don't hit you. Um, like fireballs are very tiny.
A lot of things are, especially the thing I've been having an issue with is those assholes that throw double axes. Like
I'm not sure what I mean.
they aggro onto you and then they throw one axe and then they throw another. I can't see the axes.
Hmm. I I'm pretty sure I came across them. I just don't know if I
It was in
remember.
the it was in the acts. I know everybody's come across them, but to a character like you who has like armor and shit, it probably wasn't nearly as big as a deal.
Hmm. That's fair. Yeah, because it's probably going to be physical based.
Yeah, and it's I I, I
For
I
me, it
don't
was
know.
like magical projectiles was fucking murdering me.
I'm trying to be unbiased, right? Because at this point, what part of it is the fact that I focus damage. I wanted to make a spark character, and then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know though, dude. I feel like I should be able to get hit once, not auto stunned. Like
They definitely put a lot more emphasis on
not getting hit.
layering defenses. And if like okay, laying defenses and also you have to dodge. Don't just stand and
Yeah,
get hit. Um, because you have this. I feel like I feel like if they give it to you, like they like just put it somewhere in the UI saying like if you keep getting hit, your stun meter will get locked, and you're gonna. And you know how they have it for the enemies,
Hmm.
like you see it building up. At least I do because I stun a lot. Like every time I hit something, I see a little meter. Like oh they're about to get stunned. Oh they're about to get stunned. Boom, they're stunned. If at least if you see it, you can kind of at least start to make sense of like how much like is one hit actually stunning me for. Because in my passive tree, there's a lot of nodes that help me build up stun threshold, so I don't get stunned as much. I didn't pick up too much of them because I felt like it was like, why do I need this? But I get stunned a lot. Then I had to little modify a little bit about okay, because that really interrupts, for example, the way you're dodging, and as you're using your skills, you can't. So yeah, it's they want you to really emphasize on your uh sorry, someone wants to trade.
All good.
Um, someone yeah, just focus on your oh I can't trade that.
On
No.
defense and fucking movement and fucking not getting hit ever.
Uh, I had to I had to give away my 5 Exalt mall that I bought. I might have to give it away for 2.
I will admit that hurts.
Yeah, it was a bonehead purchase on my part. I'd rather get it for 2 and not let it sit in my inventory.
Yeah.
Just let someone
I-
else have some fun with it. All right,
oh,
sorry about that. So I can't multitask. I get distracted really quickly. Sometimes I can't play. Um, so yeah, so that's on the unfortunate side of things. But any other good? How do you like the skill system?
mm, I feel it'll probably feel a lot better when the rest of the support skills and stuff are out. I do like how when I was wanting to experiment with like certain shit, it wasn't the fucking craziest thing to get new setup for skills because they drop often enough.
Hmm.
My my main issue right now is I kind of don't want to fucking try anything drastic changing my build because I don't I don't trust them to nuke whatever I change to from orbit. So
Well, I'll, I'll I should say this for bad, but it's expensive.
yeah,
It's very expensive to respect. It's not like Path One. It gets
especially
it gets even more expensive the higher level you are.
yeah,
So it's like it's less punishing when you're low level, and it's like oh yeah you can fuck around this, but you won't actually feel it until you're a high level, and then you need to respect. So a lot of what's happening now is that a lot of the builds that they recently nuked from orbit because they didn't like the functionality of the cast on criticals and ailments that was going on because there was a lot of auto bombing shenanigans. It's like they really want you to interact with the mechanics. Anything that will allow you to bypass the mechanics and just nuke the entire map while you just kind of run along, they do not like that shit, and they expressed that by the nerfs that they did, because they nerfed. Not only did they nerf the the um the warrior, the witch, the blood mage, and one of which ones? I think yeah, the witch, the necromancer. So the sorceress, the necromancer, and then the warrior. Which to me is like they when they nerfed the warrior, I was like, what the fuck did we do? I doubt that we were fucking like bypassing mechanics, like what the fuck? But they did. Something about that super slam was like allowing people to delete the entire map. Um,
I don't even you see my issue right is overnight I went from being able to cast my cast on shock probably once every 4 or 5 packs. I was like I was comfortable enough with it. I get to see it go off. I get to see it hit mobs often enough. It was cool. Now I have to go a third of a map to see something go off. Like, and then some people are going to be like, "Well, it's because you're using a high cast time thing." I'm trying to use something that synergizes with Spark. And I
Yeah.
just thought electrocute, something that consumes shock, would be a good thing to put in there. But just no, apparently not. Apparently, I'm just not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to shock shit and fucking have that kind of thing. I have to go back to hit based if I want to do any more damage. And
I
even then,
I just want to make a note that that's another bad. It was doing good.
sorry. Yeah, I'm trying. That's people are human, and the bad sticks out more than the good in a
Crafting.
lot of
How do you
situations.
feel about crafting? Good, bad?
Off.
Oh, okay. So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, this is a better format. Let's call out a feature and then put it in a category.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, crafting awful, 100%.
Now, is it awful because you don't have all of the POE1 orbs, or is it awful because it's just another reason?
So they went and did something kind of weird in my book where instead of collecting orbs and that being the thing that's tied to your crafting, it's now tied to bases. Fuck something up, it doesn't come out. Well, get a new base, try fucking again. And that would work okay if the crafting were free and didn't require orbs. But it does require orbs. It still requires me to go get bases. And now I just feel so fucking unrewarded with any kind of upgrading for my fucking character. It's basically like, oh, all right, go talk to the bitch in town and go gamble. Go get currency and go gamble. That's pretty much the only thing you're gonna be able to do.
Which is a lot of gold.
Yeah.
You may be able to get 2 or 3 items, and then you run out, then you gotta go back again and do more. Um,
To get my helm when I was leveling, I literally saved up enough gold to get an inventory of helmets. Like how fucking annoying is that? And
and this,
now I
and to
have
clarify, this is the reason. The reason that this is what it is because there's no alt or alt. What's it called? What's the actual name
alteration.
of it?
Alteration.
Alteration. So there's no alteration orb. So you can't. If you go from normal to magic, you can then say, okay, let me just re-roll the magic until I get 2 stats that I like, then I go regal. And then if I don't like it, I can scour it and start over.
And I'm also not getting enough chaos orbs to where regaling it up is like okay, cool, and now let me just spam
Yeah.
it with chaos. Since like
There's a
I don't
one there's a one track crafting implemented right now because of maybe it's already access, maybe it's intentional, whoever knows. But they don't want you to keep re-rolling one item. They want you to keep picking up that specific bases that you're looking for, transmute it, augment it, and if you like it, regal, and then if it's bust, start over from scratch with a entire new item. Which then means that you, like you said, you said it on the when we was gaming, you have to pick up everything, like literally everything.
yeah.
Any two-handed weapon that you want to use, possibly use, pick it up. And just for the just for curiosity, transmute it and augment it because you might get a tier one. What in this case is a tier in what tier eight, tier
Right.
nine.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I think they might have higher, but the one
a
like
really
most
high tier stat that you're looking for. You're like, oh shit, I can continue crafting this. Like I'm still picking up whites for that same purpose. Like, because I might get that one stat that I'm looking for if I augment it and transmute it. Well, I should say the other way: transmute it and then augment it.
right.
And then the
But
last step is to the last steps in the crafting is to then use a blackstone or armor scrap. Which how do you feel
mm,
about that? The getting the armor scraps and the weight stones and the
they're
arcanist.
so fucking rare. They're not common enough. And then like I guess they do something right. I don't know. I'm really fucking not happy. If anybody's wondering like what I'm gonna like do about it, nothing. I'm actually just going back to PO1, POE1. and just continue playing there because don't get me wrong, like just I like PoE2. I want to play PoE2, but it's making every fucking reason to tell me that it's like, oh, I'm not a game for you. Like,
I
okay,
think I could be wrong about that, but I think they've already lost about 80% of their player base. Steam DB. Um. Okay, no, I'm lying.
it's increased.
Nah, they're still up there. They've only lost half.
The damn
That
half, dude.
that's half, but for Path, so if we look at, and I always like to compare Path against Path because Path just has a different kind of community. Path of Exile. Let me second. Let me second. All right. So if we look at the last league, mm, what was it? Okay. So a week in, they lost about 30%. Maybe less. Maybe less. Maybe 20, 25% players. I could do the math on this. 229,000 down to 145,000. So it's roughly 50, 60, 70, 70,000 they lost. Give or take 30%.
Okay.
Now, Path 2, uh, on day one, which, okay, I guess we got to bring this up. Launch. Good, bad, ugly.
Oh. At minimum, fucking incredibly annoying.
Yeah. They were not ready. They were not ready. Whatever shit they said that we ready for 1 million players, bro, you wasn't even ready for 200,000 players. What the fuck happened? They shit the bed bad on that launch. They
Yeah.
recovered pretty well. It's like a gymnast. They fucking flipped, fell down, but then like their next set was even better. So it was like, all right, okay, okay. You still bust your ass. We got it on film. We're gonna show the highlights. But yeah, okay. So they did recover well. It only took them what 4 or 5 hours to recover,
Something along those
and then
lines.
it was still like like you would glitch out every other map, and you had to restart, and then that lasted for about a day or two, and then after like by Monday, Sunday night it was smooth. They peaked at 450.
Damn.
450,000. No, I'm sorry. They peaked at 580,000 players, half a mil, and that was on December 8th, on a Sunday, which I feel like that's when the game smoothed out. And then as of Thursday, December 12th, the amount of players that have logged in today was 447,000. So not much. And
Hmm.
there are about 250,000 players right now. So a weekend, there's still a strong number of players on this. Like a fairly strong number because if at least 447,000 have logged in today, um, yeah, like they've only lost maybe 15%, maybe 10%, maybe less. My math is terrible, guys, but somewhere along that line,
It's still new, and
it's
people are
still within the
going.
margin of error. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's still new, and people are going for it, so that's always good. But yeah,
um, Sorry. So we went over crafting, graphics. You said it was good. I also agree with you. Crafting is it's not bad. It's just rough. It's missing something. It's missing. We don't have a crafting bench. Now we have runes that kind of fill that void a little bit, where you can kind of modify your gear a little bit to like fill in gaps. Like, oh, I need a little bit extra strength. Oh, I need a little bit of extra resist here and there. But then you have to find the artifice runes, and you have to
yeah,
like pick up everything on the floor, and you only had the same inventory. They should have given us more inventory space if they wanted us to pick up everything. Because you got to pick up all the rares, so you get regals. You got to pick up all the the gear with holes in it, because that gives you artifice. Everything that has percentage on it, quality, gives you blacksmith and armorers, which you have to pick up everything literally. So you
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
find
You're a
yourself going
scavenger.
back and forth from the fucking map just to be able to have everything and be able to craft one or two items, which will end up
Yeah.
being shit.
You're a scavenger.
Um, all right, difficulty.
Again, this is from the position of someone like I told you earlier the other day. Like my character had no evasion, no dodge, no block. All it has is ES, and I was trading that for mana. So I'm a squishy ass character. Too hard for me. Maybe I did it too early. Maybe I
How
should do that.
was it? Did you find it difficult building your character's defenses and knowing how to do it, knowing how amount of hours you have as Path One player? You are not a
Knowing
new, no, you're not a new player, so you can't give you that one.
knowing how is not was not the problem. It, the problem stemmed from the difficulty of crafting in the game and how little it feels they want you to do it,
Fair,
or or how much they want you to do it depending on your outlook,
fair.
right?
Okay.
Like it just feels like, dude, every time I'm trying to craft an item, it never fucking feels worth it. Anytime I slam an item, it never feels worth it. Anytime I try to make an adjustment, it's just one of those things where it's like, why would I do that when I could just go and buy an item for one exalt instead of slamming an item for
Yeah.
fucking.
I think if in order for you to reward crafters, you have to give them more drops. That's the only way to do it. Because if I'm supposed to sit here and reroll, 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 reroll until I get something I really want, and you don't want me to go on the market and buy something, then you need to just make. And this is an argument for inflation, right? Of like, well, if we give you too much exalts, then or divines, then why are they worth it to begin with and use as a commodity? I think that the economy would shift. I think the more you expose, the more of these you expose, everything else just gets inflated. Where you're going, instead of needing one divine or one exalt, you're going to need 100 of them because they're more less rare. The economy shifts based on the overall exposure and the availability of items. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's you're right. Shit is not dropping as often, so you kind of don't want to roll that dice unless it's a really like perfect item when you got like two T8. And I keep saying T8s because in Path 2, I don't know if you realize it, the tier system is inversed. So the higher tier number on the stat, the better it is. When Path 1, a T1 stat is where it is. I'm not sure why they decided to inverse it. I feel like it's just gonna confuse people who are going from P1 to P2, who started just recently in P1. They're like, oh shit, P2, let me try it, and now everything's fucking backwards for no reason. I feel like yeah. So I want to stick this. I want to stick this crafting. Because it's just so much. But my biggest complaint with the crafting and the skill building, because it's kind of go hands in hand, is that nothing works. Nothing. It's not available. And by this means, if I'm looking at my passives, I'm looking at, all right, how do I build my defenses? And in Path 1, we think about this in multiple ways. We think about this first and foremost as your primary pool of absorption, which is your HP. Can you get enough HP to at least sustain a hit or two? If you're a magician or magician, if you're a sorcerer of any kind or magic based, you get ES. That's the primary, absorption. Now you can do a life as well, but it's just the commonality. The magical version is ES. On the passive tree, there is none of that shit. There is ES. I did see that, but there's no life mode nodes. There's
Yeah.
none. And I'm on the
There's
warrior side of the tree. There is none.
I have seen a couple. I pointed them out. I've seen literally like three clusters throughout the entire tree.
Like, how am I supposed to make a life build when there is no life? So I decided, okay, so the easiest thing to do to get life is to be strength based, because strength gives you inherent life, but it doesn't give you a whole lot of life. It just gives you just a manageable amount. I am currently sitting on 400 strength, and I barely broke with my gear 2,000 HP. Now, does this make me tanky as fuck? No, it does not. It just barely just keeps me like, all right, I don't feel like I'm dying. But when I first came to the maps, I was getting murked. I was getting murked left and right. All right, so then secondary defenses is what? Secondary defenses is either evasion, armor, or some kind of block. All right, so I'm a two-handed weapon person, so I can't block. There's no in Path One. There are trees for dual-handed blocking. There's nothing of that in this Path Two. There's no such thing as dual wielding anything in Path Two. There's like one node, I believe. And I'm gonna check right now. So I'm talking about dual. Let me see. Where is it? Yeah, there is one by the warrior on the south side. Just checking real quick. Sorry guys. I want to talk about mass because I looked for the shit. So I was looking for solutions to how to fucking survive my maps. All right. So there is literally one cluster for dual wielding, and all it does, it gives you attack movement speed, attack rating, attack speed, attack critical while dual wielding. That's all it gives you. There's no thing for blocking. There's nothing for that. So that's a bust for my character. So I can't block. Maybe I can go evasion if I put some dex in it and get some hybrid dex with armor builds. That has been an option for me. I'm still considering it. But if I went straight armor, I'm only sitting with the. I'm trying to see where my armor is. Sorry, guys. That's another thing too. Like I feel
the
like
way the stats
the UI. Yeah, I feel like they took a step back. Like they took a step back with the UI. It doesn't feel as informative as Path Ones. Armor. I'm sitting at 5200 armor with all my pieces. Now I have white map pieces. I don't have nothing super crazy. And that gives me 64% of physical defenses. That means that magical defenses will butcher me. Now I was able to max out my resistances, so I'm doing the best I can right here. So again, it's it still feels bad though. Survivability feels bad because you can't really craft high end pieces in order to be able to get it. And then there's no drops, so it's kind of like you're in this weird area that you can't farm because you die, and then you like so what exactly are you supposed to do? I mean, I'm talking about tier 1 maps. I'm not talking about tier 10. I don't even know how high they go, but tier 1 maps, right? I've died countless of times. I think we just went in there right before the recording, and uh
I got you saw I came around a corner and got fucking insta gibbed.
which I guess that's a good transition to the next one. Mapping system.
Just ridiculous.
I, I,
Ridiculous.
I don't know.
I haven't been able to fuck with it.
I don't know. I don't know if I said this on recording, but one of the biggest things I hate about developers is when they change something that works, that everyone likes, just for the sole purpose of let's just try something new.
Like
Everyone
try
loves this feature. Everyone loves it. Why? Why not keep it? Why not keep it? Oh, but change is inevitable. I get that, but you could change so much other things. You don't have to change. They put this waystone system. Okay, I'm fine with it. You roll the waystones just like regular maps. The maps are actually on the tablet on the map. Okay, okay, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Here's where it gets. I know we only had two categories. I might add a fourth one. Re fucking stupid ridiculous. If I'm make a map and I want to party up with my boy, here coffee, and I'm like, yeah, let's go in, let's go, whatever, let's try this shit. And he dies. Why is now he's locked out of my fucking map? Why can't I'm looking? I'm looking at a fucking map right now. I'm looking at it. There's five fucking portals because I already just completed it.
Mhm.
Why can't you come back in?
I don't know. I don't know why there's five portals other than for like going back for fucking
Why are
loadout.
you punishing people so like why? If I die of my map, why can't I go back in and try it again? Why am I locked out? Now I've googled this, I've searched for this. I don't know if I'm experiencing a different version of the game. I've seen the same resentment of like if I roll a map and I'm like, ah, cool, I try it, I got murked. Maybe it was on accident. Maybe made a mistake. I can't even try it again. I just lose it. I gotta just roll another map, which then runs into the problem that every T1 map, if you're not careful, you're gonna run out of gold. Every T1
Yeah.
map costs 5,000 gold. And I ran into this problem where I kept getting murked in T1 maps. I ran out. I had to go back into the campaign map, killed a few mobs just to get a few gold so I could then buy another T1 map. This this is beyond ruthless. This is beyond ruthless. This is just we don't want you to have fun. We don't want you to play with your friends. If they die, fuck them. Just leave them because now you have to complete the map. Because if I don't get at least a map back or some gold out of this map, now I'm in the deficit. I'm in the red. Because
Yeah.
oh no, let me just check right now. A T4 map costs 8,000. T1 costs 5,000 gold. I wasn't able to calculate how much a T1 map because he's not selling them right now. But I'm assuming it's more than 5,000, so between 6,000 maybe. There's a T2 map. So if I don't make at least 6,000 gold to be able to purchase a new T2 map, I'm in the fucking red. So now I'm forced to clear this fucking map. My boy can't jump back in, so he's on in the fucking ethos, and he's like, all right, I'm just gonna go fucking do something else.
I'm gonna go die.
And it's just like that. Why are you punishing the players that want to play your game like that? I don't understand the logic behind this. I understand you want to slow us down. I understand that we just don't want you to blow through all the content. But why the fuck not? Let us push it to the limit. This is what we do best as Plath players. Let's push it to the limit. Let's break the entire fucking system. And then you sit there like this was a good beta run. Because this is what it is. This is a beta run. This is open beta.
It's like rip my character that I just spent all this time on. For open fucking beta, dude. I'm sitting here trying to test your game and you just said no.
Like no, we don't want you to no. Pinnacle boss. No, fuck that. We don't want you to see him.
We don't want you to see shit.
So
Okay, I guess.
that was my take. I've, I've
Yeah.
I have a lot of passion because I love the game, but it's like fuck. What did I just spend 50 hours playing?
Yeah.
2 days, 8 hours, and 56 minutes at this moment. 2 days and 9 hours since launch. That's a lot of hours that I've fucking dedicated to this goddamn game, and I don't feel like I'm anywhere near a satisfactory point where I was like, oh man, I feel my build coming along. Like I'm getting a little bored because I'm just running maps mindlessly. Like you know what I mean? I'm not at that point. I could barely do a content anything. I could barely do a T1 map. I do it if I'm very careful.
Yeah, I literally have to just go to any door opening and just start spamming skills, and then hopefully they die by the time they get to me.
I don't. Maybe there's a way to layer. I know that's the Path One's system of defense. Layering your defenses is what allows you to get into T17 maps. But what I love about Path 1 that they have the perfect formula now is that they allow you to do it. It's there. It's available. You
Not only that, but tier 1 maps are hard if your character is kind of like scrubby. But I have spent at least 10 Exalt on my build thus
I've
far.
spent more than
Getting
that. I've spent at least 30 exalts on my character. At least at
like,
this point. Like just oh, two here, two there, one here. You know what I mean? Like just like getting an upgrade here because the whole campaign was fucking ruthless.
yeah,
The whole fucking campaign from the moment I entered crew, fuck it. No, from the moment we left Act One, it was just like, oh,
dude,
we thought it
even
was
act,
because we were weak. I honestly thought it was because we were weak. We didn't have the skills.
yeah,
Cause that's how Act One in Path One is. You got the skills and shit. It's like everything's murdering you. Then all of a sudden you get to Act Two, you get some skills, you got a little bit of gear. You're like, all right, boom, and you snowballing. That's what I thought. But we got to Act Two, it got even harder.
yeah,
And then, all right, shit, maybe Act Three, maybe that's where there. No, no, it got harder. And then shit just everything's hitting you with chaos damage from day one. They fucking Act One, chaos damage, magical damage, all kinds of fucking like how you build supposed to build resistances to this shit? And you just entered the game. It's
yeah.
been like that since the fucking beginning, and that is it's beyond ruthless. At least ruthless was a mode that you opted in. Like if I could understand that if I make character, it showed me three choices: vanilla, ruthless, hardcore ruthless. But no, this is vanilla. I
Yeah.
this game I cannot recommend this game as it is right now to any casual player.
No, absolutely not. Well, maybe if you just feel like, dicking around.
No,
I
you're
don't know.
just gonna waste your time because you're not gonna. No, dicking around and like there's easier ways to dick around. There's less punishing ways to dick around. This game is very punishing as it is right now. It's
Yeah.
very punishing. It is not rewarding. It doesn't feel rewarding. I don't get the same dopamine hits. I feel like I'm doing a job right now. Like I'm like, all right, I have to do it. I started it. Like I need to at least get to maps. I need to at least try to get to level 80. Like see my build to fruition so I can have at least a concrete contribution and like I'm not just talking on my ass.
Yeah.
Like I'm not playing the game out of just sheer dopamine pleasure.
True. I was getting like no dopamine pleasure from it, so I just decided to not.
Yeah. And I don't know what everyone else, all the players that are on right now, what they're getting from the game. If, maybe they're just enjoying the challenge or what it is. But my initial desire was that this would be eventually a D4 killer. Right? And again, this is beta, right? Early access.
Yeah.
I have full faith in GG to turn this ship around. They've done it, and this is what they do. GGG has built a large amount of trust with its community as well as me. I even as frustrated as I am, as fucking angry as I am with this game, I know they're gonna fix it. They're gonna look at it like, damn, all right, we gotta tone this shit down. Let's lower the health a little bit. And I mean, I think if they lowered the health of everything for at least 15%, shit would feel just better. Even if they don't fuck with anything else. Just lower the creature's health by 15%. Boom, perfect. But as it is right now, can't craft that much. All you can do is really buy. Hope you don't die. Dodge, 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 dodge. They really want you to fucking dodge everything. Well, you can't dodge everything, but they want you to dodge everything.
Yeah.
Just keep spamming dodge, bro.
Spam
Path
that
path of
button.
dodge.
Spam that button.
Well, it's
Spam
not
it hard.
dodge, it's roll, right? It roll. Do what you roll.
Yeah. Roll
Yeah,
out of the way.
path of rolling. That's what it is.
Yeah. It does not. I don't. It does not feel good to play right now, in my personal opinion.
Mechanics, I also so
I
far
like boss.
from. I think the bosses are great.
I think the bosses are awesome.
Yeah, I think the bosses are great. I think they put a lot of attention to it. They put a lot of energy to them. I haven't really experienced too much of an end game content to really give it a good and analysis.
Hmm.
I ran into one map just now that allowed me to kill one of the hyena boss, but then it's a little confusing because the hyena boss wasn't really the end of the map. I had to still kill like the rares that spawn. Again, they need to just give a little more clarity on how to actually complete maps. I don't think that's I don't want to give it an assessment yet because I feel like it's just part of early access. That's something they need to just button up. That's neither
Fair.
good or bad. It's just more like just give them more explanation as to more clear instructions as to do it. Oh, that brings me to my next point. Ascendancies.
I can't get my third. Just straight up. Like
I wish
unless I
there was
get
a statistic for this, but I feel like there's almost. I think it's well over 80% of the players can't get their third.
like I can't even. I haven't even picked up an ultimatum to be able to attempt the ultimatum side.
Yeah, they don't drop that often. Oh, you need to get up. By the way, I think it's eye level 71, 10, 10, a 10 stage,
Oh yeah, fair. Like that's I was
which
looking
is the
at
boss.
the
By the way, you gotta kill the boss. You gotta kill
yeah,
Trimaster.
yeah.
So in order to get your fourth point, you need to kill Trimaster. To do um your third point, you need to do your the three floors of Sekima. Again, it's not that this is bad. It's just that we were led to believe that you can interact with the trials as you please, and there might have been a third option, which they haven't revealed what the third option is. You can only have Trial of Chaos and Trial of Sekima. Depending on your build, both suck ass independently based on your build. For my melee build, I'm a little better with the Trial of Chaos because I don't have to worry about honor. Again, when it comes to melee and honor, if I gotta be right under the motherfucker to, just to do damage, and I hit slow, that means that my honor is gonna get trickled down, just naturally.
Yeah.
And if I have to go through not just one round of floors, I have to go 3 floors. I'm not gonna make it. Not gonna make it. So this really enables only a certain amount of builds to be able to succeed in some of these trials, and in the mechanics of it.
Yeah. It's I'm it's just again like it's just ruthless.
It
Like
really is.
I feel so starved for any kind of fucking like just good power. I go, I make good like a real good upgrade, and I'm like, dude, yeah, this is gonna fucking that should just up my tooltip damage by a third. And I go in and I'm like, yeah, I'm killing shit faster, but I don't feel I don't feel like things are going fucking very well. Like it's a bad fucking feeling. And it's just like I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, do I have to go and look at some like content to see what other people are thinking right now? And then
Everything's
literally,
getting nuked from orbit.
yeah. And then I literally, as I'm thinking to do that, I'm like, oh, that might not be a bad idea. Then the nukes happen, and it's just like, oh,
Like
well, okay,
they haven't reacted like this in a while, where they're just gonna nuke not just one build, two, three, four builds a week in. They've nuked Warrior because the skill wasn't operating as it was. Because I'm sorry, because I'm actually killing shit.
Yeah,
They nuked one of
just
the skills. They nuked mechanics, not just skills. They nuked several mechanics just because people were just it worked and they just all right. Let me just see how far can I push this mechanic, and it got a little crazy. But this is path. Like this is supposed to get crazy. But they just like no, no, we don't want you to make this game feel easy or to cheese it in some weird way. We just want you to just have pain and suffering.
and it's like I don't know, dude. I didn't consider looping cheesing. Like I played board loopers. Like it's just
Well,
I
the reason
understand.
why it wasn't cheesy and wasn't cheating in Path One because it took a significant amount of investment. Like
I guess yeah,
it took a
yeah.
significant. You can't just do that shit out the gate as soon as you made a character.
No, it
And
required
I'm not saying that the loopers and the auto bombers in Path Two didn't require a significant amount of investment too, but I think it's a little. I think it was more mechanical and not necessarily item investment. Like it's not like you had to make specific items that took a significant amount of investment to do it, so that take your time. You have to make another character just to be able to build that economy, to make it.
right,
Um, the the game itself already had the mechanics in order to allow the auto bombings to exist. You just need to level up high enough, get some little basic items, and then you got rolling at that point. That's why they were so fucking angry about it. At least in my opinion, seems like what it was.
I suppose. I just don't know. Like at least wait till like a reset patch or something, you know?
I I yeah, a weekend? Like you're doing this a weekend? Like that's kind of severe for you to be doing like. And then I guess what everyone's butthurt about, which I don't see why you're butthurt, but I can at least be somewhat sympathetic, is that when they did that, they didn't give people free resets,
Yeah,
right? And now everyone who's pretty much went into auto bombing can't reset because they can't afford it. Their bills don't work, so they're stuck in this weird place. And the reason why I say I don't feel I'm a little sympathetic but not ready is because when you was auto bombing, you was clearing fucking maps. I'm sure you made a good amount of cash. Like, so at no point did you think about like, yo, this might get nerfed. I need to prepare. Like, come on, like, come on. You can't be that what's the word ignorant. This is what they do. So it's respecting is definitely expensive. It's in a bad spot right now. I think it costs way too much cash, gold, and
I
there's no.
have a I'm biased toward word looping or toward looping in general, and even just being able to figure out the needed mechanics to get that started. I feel is like you should let that fucking be. It's not like it's not like we're exploiting. We
Yeah,
figured
I
out.
think the problem is that there were too many people all at once that just went in. Oh, that works. Let me shift over. Everyone just shifted over to the mechanic and just started obliterating everything. This is the only time that they act this severe is when 80% of all sorcerers is doing this. Like everyone, and then they could see the numbers. It first started with 10%, then 20%, then all of a sudden you start seeing the everyone. who was a sorcerer, just fucking just you can see all the points. They can see the code. They can see what's happening. Like, what the fuck? Everyone is not doing this. This is why they nuke it from orbit. And now this is why a lot of people butthurt because then now they can't re-roll into something that's feasible. When you start clearing maps with a broken functionality, and now you have to come back down to earth and do what we're doing, and you're getting murked. Then you're sitting like, oh,
But they hit normal builds too.
yes, they did, and I think that's where they went a little too hard.
Like it's one of the again, I wasn't even ward looping, dude. And my build literally doesn't fucking function in a proper way anymore. To where I have to and it's just I can't I don't even I don't know. I disagree with the way that they did it. They did not need a fucking hammer in this moment.
They did a fucking orbital strike from.
Just terrible
uh,
situation.
yeah, they were not fucking around. They're like, nope. All three of these four builds are fucking gone. It was like three. I was like, at first I was like, oh, I heard about that one. I never heard about the other one. What the fuck is that one? The gas cloud fire flame thing. Gas grenade, I should say. Um, there was the auto bomber. There was the Titan one, not Titan, the warrior one was a super slam. Apparently that was just too strong. The one skill that allows the Titans, and it's not even like a instant skill, by the way. It's like I have to sit there and hold the button for 6 seconds while everything hits me, and then it hits and deletes anything I'm hitting. But I gotta stand there, and like,
Gotta eat that shit.
yeah. They were like, nah, that's too strong, bro. No. Like, I don't. I at first I was a little sketchy about the build, like the skill itself. I was like, this sounds like a really dumb skill. Like how tanky and dangerous everything is for me to sit here and take hits like this sounds like a really bad idea. But I used it once. I was like, oh, okay, I can see where this is the utility of a skill like this, right? Because if I stun the enemy, I actually have enough, like especially for bossing. If I stun the enemy, I actually have enough time for me to sit there and hold the button for 6 seconds, and then boom, hit him with a strong hit. So it rewards me dodging and hitting here, dodging, hit, dodge, hit, dodge, ditch. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
but then now they removed it because they felt like it's too much damage, and then
Too much damage.
it just feels bad now. Now, I mean, did it totally nerf our thing? No, I don't. I think there's other ways to do damage, but I don't think damage is the problem specifically. I think it's just everything is uh health sponge. What is it? Yeah, sponge.
Yeah. Spongy.
Everything's
Just
spongy as hell, and then I don't know. Like, what do you want us to do then? Like, what is the alternative? I can't stack. Oh, I guess I wanted to mention this. I don't like where they're going with the charges.
I stood very far away from the charges because the only thing that I saw that generated them was a fucking what is that power siphon, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not fucking using power siphon every time I want to fucking get a fucking power charge.
Like, I feel like charges are not in a great space. Like, I what's the point of me using it? Like, I feel like the few uses that exist for the charges, I feel like they're not useful. Like the fact that my endurance charges, the only real use for the endurance charges is for them to get consumed by one of my skills. And then if you look the amount of skills that would actually utilize them, they're like three skills. and they don't have any inherent bonuses, so not like I can use them to like buffer up my defenses in some small way. Can't use them for that. Can't get life nodes. Like I don't I I don't know how to build defenses. You literally I don't know. Is there spell suppression?
Not that I found.
So okay, so then I can't suppress spells. So then that means I get hit full damage by every spell that gets thrown my way. I'm I'm losing the how. Like how am I supposed to survive any of this if you're not allowing me to or giving me the tools to survive it?
Yeah,
That's the dilemma in my head that I'm having. And I don't know if they have a solution. I hope that they, say something about possible solutions, but
yeah. It would be good to have a solution, but I don't feel I with the way that they did this, I'm not 100% confident.
yeah. Well, any other thing that I haven't mentioned so far? I can't remember. I'm sure there's a lot, but
Um, just again, most of it is fine. There's a lot of really good. It's just the hard part is just like, man, dude, like the difficulty of the game is just really getting in the way of like, oh, okay, I want to fucking, uh, I want to play. Obviously, I want to play. I downloaded the shit. Like, I've been supporting the company. I didn't need to go and buy the $30 pack. I want to play your game, but you've made it so prohibitively difficult that it's just like what am I supposed to do other than just take the message that like okay cool, so me making a high damage character that kind of just not steamrolls the game but at least to the point where like things are doable. I don't know, I don't think I'm asking all that much. Just like fuck,
yeah,
stop hurting.
yeah. I I can't disagree with you. I don't know. I don't know why they feel that they want to punish. Like I understood. I originally I thought that the goal was to slow us down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways I agreed with it. I'm like, all right, yeah, okay, slow us down. That way we don't people are not getting to maps like after 4 hours, like the speedsters.
Mm-hmm.
I was with it. I'm like, okay, but then I realized that it wasn't getting any easier. I realized that it just didn't feel like I was getting any stronger, and the feeling kept getting stronger, but not my character. She just got kept getting harder, and it's just like, okay, is this eventually going to like shift in another direction at some point? Like, I think the fantasy of like the power creep that path like lawyer path players have is a real one. Like, people want to feel like they become God eventually. This is where the still sane exile line comes from, where we are playing so fucking much that we become elder. We become that pinnacle boss that we have tried so hard to defeat.
And now we're going around slaughtering more of them.
Everything, yeah, just slaughtering everything in the outside. That's the power creep that a lot of fantasy players have. That sometimes they don't admit it, but it's there, it exists. But this shit is like ridiculous. Like, and I think realistically, I don't know who has the time to play this game. Like, if I wasn't such a loyal GGG supporter, and I'm not a stand. I hold their feet to the fire any time of day. But I know that they will. They have a lot of trust in their community, and they're very receptive to feedback, and they do shift, and I've seen them shift a lot of times. So in that same sense, I'm like, all right, okay, I'll give you guys a chance. This is my critique. This is whatever. If
Yeah.
But if they don't reverse, they're gonna see the entire investment that they made in this game go to shit. And not only are they gonna lose the investment in Path 2, they're gonna lose. They're probably gonna. A lot of people might get fired from GGG, honestly,
I hope not. I hope
because
I hope this end up
I don't
getting better.
think Tencent is gonna sit there and allow them to like spend all this money and blow all this. Remember, this is Tencent is salivating in the mouth because Tencent wants to dethrone D4. It cannot like just the market share that they would get, the cash that they would get. They want that shit. So it's kind of like if they drop the ball on this and they don't reverse and they don't fix it and they don't, which again I have faith that they will, but if they don't and they stick to their guns and like, no, this is the game we want to make. This is the game we want to make. No one's gonna play it. And in fact, all the loyal people from Path One who you cultivated this all this time, they're the ones that are gonna the core supporters of your game. They're not gonna play it. So it's like, who you think the casual D4 player is gonna play Path 2 with this level of difficulty? I'm sorry, dog. Like, no one's gonna play your game. If it wasn't for the maniacs that play fucking Path 1, they're still saying it like, get like as hard as it was. Some of the streamers are already in maps by day 2.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
saying
pretty
to
sure.
myself like, how the fuck are you in maps?
Yeah, like Zizarin was doing great. He's having a blast
Like, how? This shit's hard as fuck.
because
Scissoring died twice. Scissoring died
because
twice. So
but again, he's used to Ruthless.
that's true.
He plays Ruthless for fun. I just want to play the fucking game. Like ridiculous. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts right now the fact that I feel like I to get something I'm hoping to get from the next like generation of fucking path. I'm sitting here not getting from the next generation of path. I'm getting it from old path.
Yeah, I don't know how long it'll take them to resolve this issue, but I haven't seen anything in the recent patch notes that gives me hope that they're looking at it with intentions to change it. I don't know how long early access is. They're planning to leave early access. Um, doesn't feel like they're. It doesn't feel like they're planning on like, oh, they're just running for like a few weeks. Um, which I'm not gonna be playing the game if, like, after a month they go, okay, that's enough for early access. We're gonna now wipe the servers and we're gonna do it again. If they don't release a tangible manifesto of all the changes they're gonna make by making it easier, I'm not fucking spending another 50 hours, uh, 53 days or some shit just to be able to get to campaign again. Nah, I need to take a 3 month break, like a league, like a whole entire league's worth of a break, cause it's a lot, bro.
It is. It is a lot. Like the game does not feel like it wants to be explored and played. Because I was thinking hard. Let us explore now. Let us do what the fuck we want, and then by the time the game fucking launches, you can make it as hard as you goddamn want.
Nah, I
You'll
mean,
know
because people.
what's
Nah, I
possible.
mean, I feel like if you do that, the whiplash that people will get probably would be in that direction will probably be too severe, and people are gonna get butthurt. So I rather that if your intention is for it to be this hard, this is gonna be Ruthless. This is your original intention for Ruthless is to make a game surrounded by Ruthless and be this difficult. If that's your intention, then let it be that. This is the game that you made. and let the chips fall where they will fall. If the community's not receptive to it, if no one plays your fucking game and it fails, that's on you as a developer, and that's just you as a company. Everything doesn't stay perfect and doesn't stay stagnant for the rest of for the rest of our lives. We've always had this theory in our head of like, I wonder how long GGG will fall from disgrace, like every other shitty company out there. If this is that pivotal moment for them where like they really feel like they want to make a RPG game that's difficult as fuck that only people who are street professional streamers can play this game, because if you have a child or if you have a fucking family or other responsibilities, you can't dedicate a ungodly amount of hours just to be able to get into maps or farm anything. If that's your desire, then make your bed, have your market share, make whatever money you can make, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, I feel like this is has the possibility of having the Dark Souls syndrome without having people listen to the the lore for. So the reason I feel like Dark Souls channel that were like exploring the lore got pretty big is because no one wanted to play the games.
Well, I
They
think,
were too hard.
yeah, yeah. I
They
think
wanted
it's
the story. They
well,
want to know the
they
story
want to know
because
what the
they
hoopla is about, because the fear of missing out. They feel like maybe you know.
believe. I don't even want to go with that. Believe it or not, Dark Souls lore is really good. Nobody wants to fucking sit there and quote unquote get good to fucking like hear the story of a game.
I feel like that way with Halo games.
Halo's not like super hard.
Yeah, but it's a lot of them. And I don't particularly have the time to like sit here and play them all. Just to, like, and I never originally played a lot of the original Halo games.
Hmm.
So I had to opt out just to watch the fan made movies that they have. There's a few others too. Like games that are not specifically hard, but they just take a certain amount of time to like actually um, play it and beat it and just figure out. But you know for a fact that it has a really good story. Final
Yeah.
Fantasy is another one.
I I'm playing ooh, excuse me, sorry. I'm playing 16 right now. Not like right now, right now,
But they're
but
not they're not like super hard, but they're lengthy. And
they
sometimes their
are
story is kind of tantalizing.
yeah, they are pretty fucking lengthy. That's the one thing that I have noticed is that it took, especially this one, it took a while. Oops, fuck. It took a while for me to get to the meat of the game where I was actually starting to have fun.
Mm,
But once it got there, it was pretty good.
okay.
And it's one of those things where like I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, if I want 100% this shit, it's gonna be a minute. So I didn't. I was hoping to be able to get it done before launch of POE2, but it's still going. I might actually get that finished with how upset I am with POE2.
Uh, Personally, I don't know how long I'll last. I still have some in me.
I am
Um,
impressed with you. Like the fact that you're still playing. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm like, oh no, you're not a real fan. I'm just like, damn. I figured you're gonna be like, nah, fuck this. But then again, you also have struggle bust a lot of builds.
like, what's the word I'm looking for? I just want to see my build, like what it would feel like to at least take it to a somewhat functional state that feels a little like, oh, okay, I can see it, you know, turn into something. I guess if I guess I'm giving it to at least level 80,
Oof.
which I'm
But
level 70 right now, so 10 levels.
With
And I'm
how
about
slow I level in that game and the fact that I don't feel like going and farming campaign zones. Yeah.
yeah, and the only reason so far that I'm even willing to do it is that I'm s- I'm somewhat doing T1 maps after like a few changes that I made. I'm somewhat doing them, so like, all right, I'm still skeptical, and I'm like, okay, we'll see. But if it continues to be much harder, and if I can't make it to level 80, which I feel like level 80 isn't going to be that much better, as far as just getting more skill points and somehow magically fixing my build. Um, but that's just I guess my temporary goal is the best way I can describe it.
Okay. Fair. I haven't found the 5 link yet. Or no, no, no. Wait, is it the 5 link? The medium size, because there's three
Yeah,
tiers.
yeah, yeah. I have two so far.
I haven't found one.
I found actually no one, two, three. I have three.
Damn.
I found two in the campaign and then one in the maps.
Damn, that's crazy. Makes me jelly.
They're rare and they're very expensive. But
Yeah,
there is an alternative way to do it if you feel like you wanna you know you know feel
an
frisky.
alternative way to do it.
Yeah. So there's a way to get a gem, get the lesser one, right? Hit it with a lesser, and then
Uh-huh.
hit the gem with a vowel,
Oh, and I might I
and then
see.
it will turn it. It will either make it a higher level, lower level, or are these raging skulls? What the fuck? Um, make it a five socket, but there's no risk of it making it a lower socket. At least
Huh.
based on the information I've seen so far.
Okay.
It says this makes it a little cheaper. Not a whole lot, but a little cheaper than having to buy you know a full one,
Yeah,
a full five. So if you got some extra ones, you want to just try that out, that's an option.
maybe. I'm not motivated to doing it. I'm sitting here and I spent my money from my badass drop that I got on POE1, and my build is now pretty fucking crazy. So I'm just enjoying that.
Fair enough. Anything else we miss? I think that's a full assessment. Again, it's a weekend. We'll give you another update in another week. Um, there's a lot of content out there for Path 2, right? There's a lot of fucking content. There's a lot of people just blitzing content and making videos and stuff like that. Look, we want to make some stamp shit. Like,
I I want to I would love to make content, but right now I am just so unmotivated to play the game at the moment.
just
Like
hurts. Everything
it,
hurts.
everything is just too difficult, and then I spent how much fucking money, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, dude, this shit's just not gonna fucking work. I walked into your map and died instantly. I fucking
Which
walked
is a
into
tier
my map.
one. It wasn't like super juiced. Like, I don't make those kind of maps because I can't run them. You ran into the first mobs and died.
Yeah, just instigate. Just like fuck, man. Like I guess whatever. Like you don't. Apparently, they don't like mages in this game.
They don't like melee either, bro.
I feel like they like you guys more. You're actually doing the map. It's hard out there
It's hard out there for a pimp. I'm
it's
just
hard out
trying to
there
get
for
my kicks with this witch. Uh, well,
what the
either
fuck,
way.
man. We're supposed to be the strong
Oh,
class,
oh,
not you.
this is the last caster, right? Um, I guess it's the last thing, but pause button.
I do like pause button.
I think the pause button is a step in the right direction for both games. I don't know if they can implement it for Path 1. I'm assuming they could. I don't see mechanically why not, but I I like it. It
I
has
love.
helped me as a family man. It has helped me. My son comes to me. He's like, "Hey, Dad, I need, you know, I can just pause the game, put it down, and just go ahead, take care of what I need to. If I need to run around with him for a little bit, or I need to give him some food or something, I can come back and continue. Whether there was a boss, whether it was anything else, I can just continue. That's the type of game I want to interact with. That makes me want to come back to it because it fits my lifestyle.
Yeah, it's also just really useful, especially like because normally, right, I don't feel safe enough to like take a bong hit or something like that in the map.
I'll take a
But
drink.
yeah, but like this, like, oh yeah, pause real quick. I have conversations while in the map now because I'm
You
like,
can
I'm not
you
sitting
can
there like,
blink.
oh my god, go away. Yeah, I could blink exactly. Like it's just it's different. It's very nice. That I think is a very good change. Good on you, GGG. I'll give you that. But it's the rest of the shit we talked about.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Um,
I hope they were taking notes. I wasn't.
Me neither. I was just complaining. And again,
Yep.
there's a lot of people complaining. I don't know who they're gonna listen to. If they're gonna listen to the streamers. Uh, Look,
Don't look at. Do not balance a game around Scissorin's taste, please.
yeah, I think you need to.
Like
Scissoring,
that.
he plays professionally. He has a full-time job playing the game. 90% of players don't do that. 90% of players have to go to Walmart, do, play their work McDonald's, work their 9 to 5, come home to either, if you live in New York, to a shitty apartment, take shitty buses, and we just want to come on Path and just play for a few hours, get some dopamine hit, maybe buy some skins that make me look cool, just so I can pretend I'm cool, because my life kind of sucks.
Nah, you are cool, bro. It's fine.
This is what we want from a video game. Like that is the essence of a video game. Like we just want a little bit of escape from our reality of how shitty things are right now and feel a little bit better about ourselves. Yeah, we want to be challenged. Yeah, we want to have fun and experience new things. But at the core of it all, we just want to have a little fun. Just want to have a little fun. No stress. Just a little stress, but the good kind of stress.
Let us break your game, GGG. The fuck.
But this Path 2 shit is it's not the business, man. It's not the business.
This is not the business. This is wrong.
Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe we're
Oh,
wrong. Maybe we're just retarded. We're just, maybe
yeah,
we're
maybe I'm
just maybe we're just on a completely maybe we're just too old. Maybe all 400,000 players that are playing right now, they're like, nah, bro, this game is the best game ever. Fuck D4, blah, 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 blah. I'm saying to myself, like, this is not much different than D4. It's harder than D4, but it's not as rewarding. That's the whole problem with D4. It's not as rewarding. You play it, it feels empty. It feels like an empty shell. And this is the
well,
same thing. It feels like an empty shell. Like it's missing. It's missing a whole lot of shit.
early access, I guess.
That's the hope. The hope that I have is that it's early access. The problem what I have is also how long is this early access gonna go on? Because I don't see myself playing this game for another fucking month. There's a lot of more shit out there that's fun to play that I don't have to necessarily have this much difficulty with.
Yeah,
So, are you interested in us playing this game or not? Like, I don't, so again,
yeah, it's
what's
rough
the
right now.
longest early access game that you remember going for?
Probably Baldur's Gate 3.
How long was that early access for?
I don't
Remind me.
know. I got into the beta or into that like really late, so I'm actually not sure. But
Okay, I'll correct that. I'll correct that. I feel like games that are stay in early access for too long end up either being really bad or dying. I don't know too many games that stay in early access for too long and somehow come out at the end with like a good product. And I could be wrong about this, but in my
I think you're wrong.
I'm pretty sure it is, but I don't remember a title that stayed for a very long time in early access.
Baldur's Gate 3 was in early access for 3 years,
I don't think I played in early access though.
but I don't think
That's
that's.
how I know that I didn't play in early access, so I don't have that experience.
Oh, I'm just saying, but that's not the argument.
No, no, I would say that games I've played that stayed in early access for a long time have never turned out well. That's kind of what my argument was. I didn't say that. Well, I guess I should have changed the way I said it. I didn't say that any game that's played in early access. I say the games I have played that have stayed in early access for too long.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's better. Because Baldur's Gate 3, as you know, was fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
And from what I understand, it had a lot of problems early on. But the developers listened to their community and continued pushing forward. And I'm hoping that it's that. I also kind of hope that it's not going to be a 3 year early access. But I want them to. I just want them to listen to the gripes, even from like lowbie fucking noobs like us, and just kind of.
I don't think the game requires 3 years. I think at best maybe 6 months, at best.
But you don't develop video games, so
No, but I'm thinking to myself like, from the entirety of the game that I've seen so far, it's a fairly complete game. I just think they need to make adjustments with like health pools, how much health does fucking things have, like availability for like defenses, up
I
and
want the rest. Like
maybe
I want the rest of my MTX like really bad.
okay, yeah, and then that's gonna come with time. I'm sure they have a team working on that too, like migrating MCXs.
Well, yeah.
Um, but
I
again,
just now
if
like I'm just saying.
but again, MTX is not gonna allow you to survive in maps.
But no, it would make me feel better and look cooler while I died.
You feel shit. That's what you are. But
Sometimes.
yeah, they need to fix the core of the game. They need to fix the core of the game before they even fucking worry about the damn MCXs. And I feel like they can do that within the next 6 months. Because it's
I don't.
just the same way they nuke these fucking builds, they can nuke the fucking enemies too.
But they don't. Then I want them to do that. Then, like, they're not doing that.
But it's the first week. Maybe they will. I don't
They nuked all the builds. They have time to nuke all the builds, but not to fucking change the dial back on the fucking mobs. They're like, oh no, you're killing shit too fast as at the upper end. So fuck all you other fucking scrubs that are struggling right now.
know. But it does seem like they're scaling the game for streamers, people who play professionally. Um, which they're the only ones I feel, in my opinion, that have time to put in 8 9 hour days to play. And I pulled I in the 48 hours that I have, some of those were 8 9 hour days. My Saturday, my Sunday. I didn't play them
Yeah,
straight, but I did 4 hours here, took a break, did another 2 3 hours, took a break, did another, and then I stayed up till like 5 o'clock in the morning, played and it played, and it was just, bro, nah, I can't keep doing that, not to be able to keep up or to be able to get no. It's just, and I took time off just so I don't have to worry about going into work. So I can just get up in the morning. I got my coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. I came in at 8 o'clock in the morning and I logged into fucking Path and got off at 12, took a break, came back in an hour or two, paid till 6. Stopped playing, went to pick up my wife from the local train, came back, paid for another 4 or 5 hours. You can't tell me I'm not putting the fucking time in. It's just not. It doesn't feel fun. It feels like I'm just going to work. It's a responsibility. And I'm doing this for you, motherfuckers, so you can hit a button to subscribe.
hit the button, please. Hit it real hard. Hit it harder than
Just
you
don't
want to
break your
hit.
phone, because then
Yeah.
you can't listen
Well,
to us.
if you break your phone hitting the subscribe button, just let us know, and then I will
You will not.
personally
Shut the fuck up. You will
I
not.
will personally laugh at you.
Okay. That seems more reasonable.
Of course, I am not paying for someone's fucking phone because they love me too much.
We're gonna get comments. You promised me a phone. Well,
Oh, I
well,
promise no such thing.
we got this promotion on the new Lou filter sounds. Which, if anyone wondering, if as the moment that Never Sinks figures that shit out, when she's working on it, I will. I don't know. I don't know what to make a sound on. I think I'm gonna have to come up with something like some.
I know what I want.
Yeah, I gotta come up with something that spiritually makes sense for Path Two's punishment.
Oh
Now,
yeah, I
I have the
oh
Trial Master one. I never uploaded the Trial Master one. I don't think, at least I
uh
don't think one. But I do have the Trial Master one, which I have used on streams and stuff like that. And I feel like it's very, 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 very on point with this level of punishment because he just not mocks you. Shit drops and he just mocks you. Is that it? Is that all you
so
have? So it's you know it is what it is. But I might make an Azara one. I've been wanting to make a Azara one. I feel a lot of people are missing Azara. I think this might be the appropriate time to make an Azara one for Path 2.
I
Um,
actually hate to say this because I fucking hate Izaro, but I do miss fucking Izaro right now.
I know there's a lot of cope right now on Reddit right now with Azara. People are like, well, I miss his corny quotes.
Yeah. He was damn.
All I get
Yeah.
now is death and pain, no reward. But yeah,
No word.
any final,
Uh,
any, any final thought?
nope, just press buttons. We do
Excuse me.
care. We do like looking at informations and such that you guys have, and like looking at comments if you guys leave them.
And if there's
Fucking
anything specifically that you also want us to cover, maybe there's a part of the game you want us to cover, feel free to let drop a comment. Um, and we'll make a content. Otherwise, we're just gonna do our regular reviews of the content. Uh, we didn't make one sooner, honestly, because uh, Coffee had some mechanical problems with his internet. So dates on like what was it? This day two?
it was 2.5 days that my internet was fucking down.
Yeah, so it took him a little longer to get through the campaign, and I didn't want to like I didn't want you to I didn't want to throw you into a recording without having you at least get the campaign finished. Yeah, we're at least on the same level as far as content coverage. So that's kind of what we took a little bit. And this is pretty much gonna air. We're recording this Thursday night. It's gonna get air Friday night, so Friday morning. So we'll try to get as far as possible as of level 80. I'll see if I can get to yellow maps. I don't know what the fuck yellow maps look like. And then give you a review on the end game. See what it feels like. I feel like it's not going to feel any different, but I could be wrong. Let's see.
Let's hope.
This is your third reminder to hit a button. Hopefully my audio is good. Everything looks good on my end. So if you're not having problems, also if my audio is fucked up and it's like, yo guys, what the fuck is wrong with your audio? Feel free to leave your feedback. Shout out to all of you guys who have let us feedback about our audios. I have taken those comments to heart. I have put an ungodly amount of hours trying to figure out this audio shit. Based on some feedback that I'm getting from family members and some other people that they're saying, yo, we can hear you just fine. So, but again, you know, all the shit is improvement. So just let us know. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Good night, people.
See ya.